Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. But what if we look at discomfort through a little bit of a different lens? What if we start thinking, maybe there's information in here? When we start to get curious about our discomfort, that shit holds an incredible wealth of information. And if used, it can guide you to your next part of your path. So instead of running away from discomfort or hiding away from change, what if you started to lean into it instead? On today's Powerback episode, we are talking about discomfort, how to embrace it, and the types of information that it wants to tell you. Before we dig into discomfort, actually, there's a little bit of a different type of discomfort, and that, my friend, is overwhelm. Overwhelm is, I don't need to explain it. You know what that shit is. And that's why in December, on December 7th, I'm teaching a live mindset class so that you can go from overwhelmed to focused. Look, when you're not sure how to give priority to your ideas, to your goals, you're prepping for the new year, but everything feels like an emergency and you want to take action, but you keep shutting down. You need some clarity, you need some direction, you need a little bit of a fucking game plan. This class is going to help to not only ground you, but help you get a clear plan so you know where and how to focus your time and your energy. Go to LauraAura.com. There is a big, beautiful banner at the top of the website where you can register, and I'll see you on the inside really soon. All right, let's talk about being uncomfortable. I mean, who just runs to this topic? Who's like, you know what? I want to spend 20 minutes talking about. I want to talk about being uncomfortable. Well, my friend, if you know me, even for a second, you know that I lean into the topics that all of us are thinking or feeling and experiencing, but we're not having fucking conversations about. And discomfort is one of those things. Now, I want to put a real hard disclaimer first and foremost. When I'm talking about discomfort, I'm not talking about certain situations, circumstances, people, surroundings that are unsafe, inherently unsafe. This episode is geared towards shifting and changing and unknown places and things that just kind of take you out of your normal comfort zone. So if you're in a place or a situation where you do not feel safe, please take this as your cue to reach out, to ask for help, to get guidance, because my friend, you deserve to be in a safe place always. So when we're talking about discomfort, this is when our body is like, ooh, something's not quite right, or I'm feeling ooh, like seen in a different way. I'm being heard in a different way. I'm in a new situation and like I don't want eyes looking at me. It's like we're not in our own normal comfort zone. We're feeling maybe a little exposed, or maybe feeling seen or heard in a new way, or we're just kind of facing something new. And what typically happens when discomfort shows up, what do we want to do? It's the turtle effect. Suck our heads back in our shell, go back into our safe place, and not move forward, right? Like, let me just go back to what I know. And why do we do that? Because it's familiar. Even though chances are the new discomfort is coming from a change, an evolution, a challenging yourself to grow and evolve, like there's likely something good or something new on the horizon, but that's new territory, right? That causes you to experience a new level of temporary discomfort. Now, I say temporary discomfort because this is the space that breaks the mold. This is the space that changes your reality, that shifts your career, that changes your health, that helps your relationships. Like, this is the opportunity for you to make a lasting shift. But that temporary discomfort comes from trying something new, getting out of your normal routine or habit. And that causes some feelings in your mind and in your body. So, our natural human tendency is to cut bait, get out, turn around, and go back to what we know. Even though that you've likely moved away from the thing that you don't want anymore, you've made a decision, you're testing something out, like something has shifted because something needed to shift, right? I think we can all agree with that. But it is familiar. You know how to navigate it. You know how to dodge and pivot through it. You know how to handle this because you've done it for a really long ass time. And so, even though this is not where you want to be anymore, you find comfort in knowing how to be in it. So, what do we do in this situation? Right? Like, okay, I'm feeling uncomfortable. I don't really particularly love that, but I need to do something with it. I need to channel that energy. I need to figure out how to navigate this because otherwise, I'm going to keep reverting back to the shit that I know. I have found that discomfort holds a wealth of fucking knowledge. It's like an oracle, like a wise old man at the top of a mountain somewhere that you can go to and be like, what do I need to know? Discomfort holds information that helps you to move forward with intention and in alignment. And so the antidote to discomfort is curiosity. I also think sometimes I'm like, the shit that I teach is so sometimes stupid simple, right? Like, oh, just get curious. Like, well, that's just fucking easy. I can just do that. But it's not that easy, right? Because if it were, we would all be doing it. We've not been taught or trained these things. We don't have these tools in our tool belt. So it's new and unfamiliar in its own. So I'm thinking as I'm planning this episode, I'm like, getting curious about being uncomfortable. That's such like a simple thing to do, but it's not always the easy thing to do. And therefore lies another layer of discomfort. Quick example. I literally stopped as I was planning this to make a TikTok video, which will end up on Facebook Reels, about an awareness piece that I learned from getting curious about my discomfort. Discomfort and resistance like to go hand in hand, right? Like they are working together in tandem. And I always say that the thing that you want the most is behind the thing that you resist the most. So while planning this episode, I realized that I resist things that are easy because I'm used to things being hard. I resist things that are working because I'm used to them not working. So, in my mind and body, I want to make things more complicated and I want to make them harder because that's the way that I have known it to be. And I experience discomfort when things are working and when things are efficient. Why? Because I'm not super used to it. So, getting curious about this discomfort, I always think it's amazing how these fucking things just land in my like brain as I'm planning these things. Because leaning into this discomfort, I'm like, okay, if I get curious about this, what is this trying to tell me? It's trying to tell me that I am ready to level up, that I am ready to be in flow. I am ready for things to work well and easily. And my only job is to continue to lean into those things and to trust that that is appearing now because I'm in alignment with myself. And then I'm like literally sitting here in my office alone by myself. And I'm like, holy fuck balls. Like, this is literally what it's all about. So instead of continuing to resist things that are working, now I can recognize it. Now I know I'm uncomfortable because I'm just not used to it. And now I can choose how I respond to it instead. Instead of putting my head back in my shell and going back to what I'm used to, I can lean into the temporary discomfort that gets me closer to where I want to be. And that's what happens, my friend. This is literally the cycle in real fucking time. We experience discomfort with change. We experience discomfort when we're waiting for things to happen, when there's something new happening in our life, when we're anticipating a shift, a change, a decision to be made, when there's a new desire or something different calling us. Discomfort shows up in the good, bad, and in between. And your only job is to get curious about what it's trying to tell you. So I think that I've pinpointed about three key kind of buckets of what discomfort is trying to communicate. And I'm certain as this concept grows, there's going to be more, but these seem to be like really grounded ways. So first and foremost is it's something new. There is a new or unfamiliar task, situation, person, opportunity. Something is different than what you're used to. And therefore, you're uncomfortable. This is exactly the situation that I just shared with you. I'm not used to things working really well in certain aspects of my life and business. And now that they are starting to, my body's like, I don't believe you. I don't think that this is like sustainable. I don't think that this is safe. I don't think that this is for me. I can't possibly have this because it's for other people. And my brain's like, I would like to tell you all these things. And my body's like, okay, I believe you. And we have to shift those, right? We have to start leaning into it and getting to know these things instead of letting them run a fucking amok. When something is new or unfamiliar and you feel discomfort, that does not mean that it's wrong. It doesn't mean that it's not for you. It doesn't mean that it's not sustainable. It just simply means that it's unfamiliar. It's uncharted territory. Like, think of something that you've done in the past that you've never done before. And the first time you did it, it was uncomfortable. Maybe you moved to a new school. Maybe you went to your first networking event. Maybe you went on your first date, right? Like that, you didn't just like bust in the door like the fucking Kool-Aid man and own the joint, right? I would imagine that there was a bit of discomfort. But the more you did it, the more you showed up, the more you were with this person, the more you tried this thing, it became more familiar. And therefore, that discomfort disintegrated. All this is doing is challenging what you're used to. This is an invitation to lean in, to step up, to grow, to expand. This discomfort is asking you to grow because you have asked to grow. Oh, let me say that again. This discomfort is asking you to grow because you have asked to grow. Holy balls. That needs to be on a t-shirt. Look, this is the opportunity for growth, my friend. You want to make change in your world and in your life? Lean into the temporary discomfort of growth. Now, the second piece that I have found is that this discomfort may be coming from the need for more time or information, this pressure to decide something or to force things to happen or to move forward or now. This discomfort is really leaning in and saying, you know what? I need to sit with this. I need to ask more questions. I need some time for this to gel, to marinate, to like really get down in. I need to feel connected with this. There is nothing wrong with needing time to make decisions, time to connect with something. And I know that there are certain situations where maybe you have less time, but still taking that pause before you say yes or you say no, before you jump ahead without having all the information that you need to make a sound decision. This discomfort might come from saying, you know what, I'm just not clear yet. And I need more information. What do I need to know? And that can be a really powerful question to ask yourself when the discomfort is saying, hey, I'm just really kind of unsure. Okay, body. Okay, mind. What do I need to know? What would help me move forward in this situation? What would help me make a decision? What information or time or details do I need to be able to put in my pot to allow that to simmer so I know how to move forward? This is also a really beautiful time to lean on trusted people, mentors, coaches, other people in your industry, right? Like these are trusted people. We're not just willy nilly asking people on the street or asking people that maybe don't have all the information that might be best suited to help you make a decision. Leaning on trusted mentors is incredibly underrated. Wise people that want nothing more than to see you succeed, to see you happy, to see you moving forward and thriving. Gem people, hang on to those people because they're invaluable. So if the discomfort is saying to you and you get curious and it's saying, I need more information and time, trust that. Trust that, my friend. And if you're feeling the pressure all around you and everyone's trying to get an answer from you and like it all seems like it's kind of caving in, then my friend, lean into that discomfort even harder because you want to be able to move forward feeling good. And that doesn't mean that fear isn't going to be there. It doesn't mean that discomfort isn't still going to be present, but it means that I still at least feel more embodied in my body. I feel good in my mind and I'm ready to do this. And lastly, sometimes discomfort is a giant, capitalized, bold no trying to get your attention. This is when you feel something in your body and you can't quite explain it with your words, but it just doesn't feel right. This opportunity, there's just something about it that's just not clicking. Something about this person that I don't get a good feeling about. There's something about this next step in my business that I'm like, I'm just not really feeling jazzed up about this. I want you to know that your body is an incredible compass and it is forever guiding you. So if you're feeling any of those things in any situation, trust that shit. It does not lie And when you go against it, it takes you down a weird ass path where you got to learn all kinds of new lessons. And look, sometimes we have to do that because we're human beings. But when you're feeling discomfort and you lean in and get curious about what it's saying, and you're like, it's just not feeling right. Boom, period. End of sentence. Because especially when there's opportunities involved, sometimes when there's money involved, sometimes when there's somebody that we care involved, like we want to throw away a part of ourselves, and not intentionally or consciously, but we want to people please. We want to make people happy. We want to appear to be successful, right? We want to really have things work. So, you know what? Maybe I'll just give this a go. And again, sometimes we do that, and you'll probably do it again at some point, as will I. And that then is the opportunity to learn and remember what that feels like in your body so that you know what a no feels like the next time it comes around. So, is your discomfort leaning in and getting curious, telling you, I don't think this is the right thing for us? If something doesn't feel right, chances are it's not. So, you can start to see and feel how discomfort holds information. But the thing that you must start to incorporate to tap into this is pausing, listening, and asking. Look, I talk to myself all the fucking time. Like we collectively in the LauraAura mind and body have lots of conversations because I feel like I've finally gotten to a place where I've really mastered pausing. And that's come from years of it's come from years of practice. So if you're at the beginning of this journey or you're in the middle, that's okay, right? The only way to really master something is to continue to do it. So I can tell you firsthand that when you lean in and pause and you get curious about the discomfort, you tap into yourself, you connect, and whatever that looks like for you, that discomfort is going to reveal information to you that's going to help you make a conscious, aligned decision to move forward. And when you do this, you shift the discomfort, you get back into the driver's seat, you feel good about the answers that you have, you feel good about your decisions that you've made. New opportunities present themselves because you have followed the path. Your body will thank you. I'm telling you, because when you follow this, your body's like, oh, okay, all right, we're introducing something new here. We're seeing how this change actually brings in goodness. It brings in feeling better. It brings in opportunities that make me all of a sudden feel really excited again. All of a sudden I'm feeling a little bit more of a spark and I'm dancing around again, right? Like you start to come alive again. So when discomfort shows up, don't take that as an immediate sign that it's wrong. Sometimes that may be the case, but give yourself the opportunity to pause long enough to find out. And what I'm going to be practicing from now until this shifts is getting used to things working really well because I'm fucking worthy of it. And you, my friend, are worthy of your greatness too. I would love nothing more than to see your beautiful face inside the next mindset class, which is on December 7th, as a reminder. And we are going from overwhelmed to focus so that we can take all of those fucking running rampant rabbits in your head, get some order and some focus to them so that you know where to focus your time and your energy so that you feel better and you're able to move forward. Registration is open at LauraAura.com. You can also connect with me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram using @thatLauraAura. And as always, my friend, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.